This is an installation video of a Lucier Motorworks 03 to 07 CTS, 04 to 07 CTS-v steering angle kit. First thing we have to do is remove the brake caliper and rotor. Secondly, cut the steering arm off. These are cut knuckles, so they're a little different than what you'll have on your car, but for the most part it'll be the same. So make sure you tie your caliper up. Now, next thing we're going to do is remove the tie rod off the knuckle and off the inner. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a cut-off wheel and we're going to cut perpendicular to the knuckle straight down through that and cut this steering arm off. These have been welded on. These are cut knuckles, but on factory knuckles it will be the same. This is a factory knuckle. What you're going to do is draw a straight line down from here and cut that off right there. So the next step is to unbolt the hub from the knuckle and get the bolts out. You may have to unbolt your sway bar on both sides so you can get it up and out of the way so that bolt can get out. It just depends on your setup. So after you get all the bolts out, you're going to take the bracket and bolt it on. Some of the knuckles might need to be cleaned up around here to get the bracket to sit all the way flush against the back of the knuckle. These are tight on these knuckles. On the knuckles on my other car, they fit perfect. So it's just dependent on the knuckle itself. But you'll have to take a grinder and just clean up the spot on the knuckle and probably back there a little bit. But don't take too much off because that's supposed to fit kind of snug in there. So after you clean up your knuckle enough to get the bracket to fit in where it should, like so, make sure that you cut your bracket enough or your knuckle enough for that to clear the weld, and bolt the hub back on with the factory bolts. They are long enough to go through, and torque those to spec. So after you get that on, we're gonna thread on the heim joint that is threaded into the new tie rod sleeve. I'm going to thread those on until they bottom out. Once they're threaded on, then we'll insert the alignment spacers and the bolt. So with the misalignment spacers, there is a lip on it. I'm on focus. There is a larger part and a smaller part. Smaller part goes to the heim joint side. Larger part goes on the bracket side. Once you get all that together, and then it's just put the nut on. Get the nut started up there. Hold that with a wrench and tighten that. So after you get the tie rod sleeve on and onto the inner, you want to set your toe. So either do it by a tape measure, toe plates, however, send it to an alignment shop, have them align it, whatever works. Alright, so we're back on my other car. We had an issue with the tie rod sleeves I had made. They didn't thread them all the way. So what I want you to do is put the heim, thread the heim all the way in on this side, pull it out of the bracket, and then you're going to thread it all the way in. Put your jam nut all the way in on your tie rod so there's no threads left, and then you're going to thread this in all the way. So once it's threaded in all the way, then you put it in, and then you can set your toe and it'll thread out of the heim and your inner at the same time. So after you get your tie rod done, you will just thread this out, hold your inner. This one's loose, mine it's kind of messed up, so you'll hold your inner, unthread this, and you'll be able to set your toe fine. So when you install it, the furthest part of the heim should be away from the control arm. So the P shape should be like that. So basically it creates more distance between the control arm and the tie rod sleeve. And that's the installation video for my angle kit. If you have any questions, message me on Facebook or Instagram, either Lucier Motorworks or Eli Lucier, either way. Eli Slides on Instagram. These kits create about 47.5 degree on the trail tire, 47 degree on the lead tire. If you wanted to grind your control arm, you definitely could get a little bit more. It limits mechanically before it maxes the rack out. I did that so you're not putting pressure on the rack. It drives really nice. There's half a degree of Ackerman, so you should be faster through transitions and through corners, along with good street manners. If you drive it on the street, there is a provision, a little cutout in the bracket, so you can run your wheel speed sensor wire through it. You don't need to, obviously. A lot of drift people don't run ABS. So, but thanks again for purchasing one of my angle kits. Feel free to spread the word about them. They will drive really nice. I'm really excited about these, and finally have some parts for these cars out. I do have some handbrake brackets as well, some dual caliper brackets as well for the rear. They're bolt on, keeps factory park and brake, adds a second cts-v caliper. So if you're interested in one of those, again, message me on Instagram or Facebook. Lucier Motorworks, Eli Slides on Instagram, or Eli Lucier on Facebook. Thank you.